In a world where the path has already been set, it can never be changed. In every universe, there is a time where the moment changes drastically, a time where you never experienced something but others would, and an event that you lived differently than your other self. This story talks about two adolescents who grew to hate each other. William Anderson, a 17-year-old boy who was the firstborn son of the prestigious Anderson family, one of the two wealthiest names well known, alongside their enemies, the Petersons. William is indeed one of the two people who exceed with success, alongside his enemy Serenity Peterson, a 17-year-old girl, and both of them despise each other for trying to be the best at anything, turning everything into a challenge. One day while William was following his daily routine, he felt a sudden nostalgic sensation of his past, where suddenly he was transported on top of a tree that he planted as a kid, a tree that strangely wasn't supposed to be there. Even so, it felt a warm feeling igniting inside of him. During the raining weather, he was suddenly surprised by an unexpected guest he never thought he would open up to. This day was like any other day. Nothing special happened, just a simple introduction to the new junior high school students who were going to attend the prestigious school. William was one of the luckiest students to be a host to this event, along with another student, who he was glad wasn't there yet. William had not properly introduced himself. He stated, "My name is William Anderson, I'm 17 years old, and I'm currently in the second year of high school. For you, I'm just a student, but in this school, in this city, I'm like royalty. Of course, I'm not a prince, but just hearing the family name Anderson already has a powerful meaning." After he finished his speech, he came across a certain someone who came right face to face with him. I'm amused right now. Her eyes were giving me a hostile glare. She was burning with anger right now. We were supposed to welcome together our new freshman, but I may have locked her inside a room full of disgusting dead fish. She is going to smell the dark side of the sea for at least a week. You might be thinking that I'm an asshole, but for your information, this is not only a sign of amusement, but also revenge. Last time she put laxatives in my drink during our school trip to France, she humiliated me on the plane, and I was stuck in the bathroom smelling like turd from departure to arrival. So this was my repayment. A room full of smelly, disgusting fish. After hearing her irritation, she stormed out of the school, saying, "This isn't over." Of course this isn't over. We kept constantly doing this every single time. Well, actually not always. Maybe a couple per se in a week or maybe two, because we do have an agenda to keep. We are not children anymore. I'm a full-fledged adult, starting by tomorrow after the stunt I just pulled today. The day wasn't stressful at all. I'm pretty much used to it. I may be a student, but I'm practically working like an adult. Walking back home made me think a lot about life, because looking around I can tell that everything is getting older. There used to be a coffee shop right down the street, but now it's been replaced by a gym. I heard they're going to open a new coffee shop, but it wouldn't be the same. All the people around me are really getting old. We may be strangers, but it feels like I'm watching my children grow up. Of course, the topic of having children hasn't ruled out. I'm still thinking on who will be my wife in the future. I just hope a girl who will always stay loyal to me, to love me for who I really am, not for my money. I finally came back home, but because of one stupid mistake, I forgot to bring the keys with me, so I rang the bell, hoping that either my butler or maid would come and open it for me. While I was waiting, I looked to the side for a bit, and it reminded me of something inside of me. The butler finally opened the door, but for all night, I couldn't stop thinking of what I saw. When I was still young, we planted a seed in the middle of the woods near my homestay. It wasn't just a seed, but a gift from my great-grandfather, who used to live in a forest. He always loved nature, which is why he lived there until the day he died. Before passing, he sent a pack full of seeds from the forest he lived in. I planted one in the woods with someone else, but sadly, I never got the chance to see it grow because one night 3 crooks came in my house causing havoc, then ran outside. Luckily, they were apprehended, but they left a huge scar both in my house and myself. They burned the seed that I planted with a lighter. So I'm laying in my bed in my bedroom thinking about that day. For you, it may have been just a seed, but there was a meaning behind it. I don't know if I wanted to talk about maybe one day, just not today. I felt tired for a while. I was letting my body go. I felt really tired. I then quickly took a nap for maybe a couple of minutes. I was putted into a deep sleep, Everything was silent. I didn't know where was I. I felt stranded in a deep, empty space, no light, no sounds, not even a company. Everything felt so calm. I didn't know what was happening now, but it felt comfortable. For a second, I felt in peace. Until I heard a noise. I can hear the rain drop. I felt a cold breeze running through my face. I opened my eyes and realized I was outside. Under the raining night, I looked around and I could see the entire town. I then noticed that I was sitting on top of a tree branch. It took me a while to notice what tree is this. I looked at the wood and I felt the need to hug it. It was clear that this would grow from the seeds we planted, but of course this is a dream because the real one was destroyed. I don't know why I'm having this dream, but I think it was something to feel happy about. At point 2, I was still sitting on the branch, observing the whole panoramic view under the starry night in the middle of the rain. It felt relaxing, like all the problems vanished in an instant. Am I having this dream because I felt stressed, or maybe something inside that I keep denying? Whatever this is, I feel happy. As I smile, I all quickly fade away in seconds. When a certain someone suddenly climbed up to my tree, it was Serenity, my longtime nemesis, the girl who I recently placed inside a room full of fish, who was suddenly sitting right beside me in the same tree wearing nothing but a simple nightshirt. From a dream, it turned into a nightmare. I asked, "What in the world are you doing here?" She gave a small smirk. "Geez, do you even have the time for making jokes here?" I pressed. "I asked you again, what are you doing here?" Serenity was confused, but then she answered, "Have you seriously forgotten that I specifically asked you to come here?" To be honest, I didn't know what she was talking about. Whatever she was saying couldn't be real, because just that morning, she had been cursing at me for pulling a smelly stunt on her, and also because we were on top of a non-existent tree. I didn't know what type of dream or nightmare I was having. Serenity was looking around the panoramic view, stating it was beautiful. She was indeed my enemy, but she seemed like a different person right now. She looked calm despite us being near each other, as if she had a completely different view of me, like we were best friends forever. Instead of going on the offensive, I decided to avoid any bickering. I told her maybe I could talk to her, even if this was all fake. So we started a so-called friendly chat together, which was really rare. We talked about a lot of things: school, our city, our family, literally anything. I felt like I was completely seeing a new side of Serenity. I never realized how attractive she was, with her golden hair waving behind her back and a smile she never dared to show in my presence. It was a personality that was forbidden for me to witness. It was beautiful. Suddenly, her smile faded into nothingness. I looked at her, and for a moment, I felt a bit of sympathy, even if we weren't on the same page most of the time. Both of us were humans, and I couldn't disrespect someone who was feeling weak right now. Serenity expressed her concern about a recurring nightmare that was bothering her, and the feeling of her heart tightening whenever she thought about it. In a moment of vulnerability, she asked William if he loved her, catching him off guard. William struggled to give a clear answer, torn between his uncertainty and the feelings that were surfacing. Serenity explained that their relationship had been a turning point in their family's long-standing feud, bringing an end to centuries of hatred. William was left feeling confused by this sudden, emotional revelation. We are engaged? Everything should be fine, but it feels like we are living in a lie. I don't understand why she was thinking like that, so first I calmed her down because she looked like she was about to cry, and then I asked her this: "Why do you think we are living in a lie?" She then responded, "We are best friends, but it was hard at the time to meet each other due to our parents hating one another. So then you had this idea of asking me to be your girlfriend because then our parents, if they do love us, should accept our relationship and let bygones be bygones." Hearing her pain saddened me a bit. So to make it more clear, I asked a direct question she asked me before. "Serenity, do you love me?" I was expecting the same answer as mine, but the following statement shocked me the most. "I do. I've always have. I've been harboring this feeling since the first time we've met. When you asked me to be your girlfriend, I was overjoyed, like everything was finally coming true, but I then had this doubt that you didn't feel this way, that you see me as a friend, not as a woman, and that you did this just so both our families could stop hating each other. I didn't know anymore. I didn't know who I was supposed to be. Even if we are in a universe where we hate each other, even if I am married to someone else, I will always love you with all my heart and with everything that I have, but faking a relationship hurts more than being rejected." Hearing Serenity's explanation, it felt like something had opened up to not just her, but also me. Hearing her made me realize my true feelings. You see, I have always loved Serenity, but fate made us choose otherwise. I asked one more final question. Do you still remember what this tree symbolizes? She looked at me for a second, and then looked at the horizon, where she gave me the most shocking answer. This tree that we planted was a gift from your great-grandfather. It is said that if you plant the seeds with the person who you love, it's basically like proposing to each other to be together forever. The taller the tree, the stronger our love. I remember that. You were the one who called me to plant together. She does remember. After all these years, she does. I don't understand what is going on right now. While I put my hand in my face, I suddenly received a call from someone. It was my mom. This dream was more than just a dream. It was an idea, an illusion, a desire that I could never have. The gift from my grandfather is still intact, engaged by the girl of my dreams, and my mother is alive. I started wondering if I had made a mistake or if I had done something to not deserve this dream-like life. I answered the call, and it made me feel so emotional. Hearing the voice of my dear mother felt soothing. After finishing talking with my mom, Serenity felt quite saddened and decided to leave after hearing my previous answer to the first question. I guess I should have known. I was so stupid to think about it. I guess I should take my leave. Sorry for making the day worse. I just have to think. From that moment on, I felt she was about to leave my life again. She climbed down from the tree and walked away. I looked at her and said to myself, no, I can't lose her again, not twice. I jumped from the tree and called her out. I grabbed her hand, and I was about to finally confess my feelings about her, that feeling that I kept locked in the depths of my heart, until, for some reason, I couldn't hear my voice. Everything went silent. I was confused. I don't know if she can hear me. Everything was becoming too bright. No, I need to tell you what I truly feel. William shouted, but my voice couldn't reach her, so I grabbed her and pulled closer, letting my lips meet hers. I held her, I hugged her, and for a moment I thought her she was hesitant. Instead, she responded back with a kiss, hoping maybe she would understand my clear love for her. The light grew intensely and then faded into nothing. I opened my eyes and grounded myself back in my bedroom. Everything was just a dream, even though it felt real. I stood up and looked out the window, stuck in my thoughts about what I dreamt. I felt a moment of sadness. Was Serenity's feeling genuine or just a friction of my own desire? I looked at the window and I saw her walking by. I sometimes wondered myself if there was a path that I could have chosen, where instead of hate there was a romance between me and her. If there was something I could have changed or prevented every misfortune from happening, where I could have saved my mom, the tree, and our relationship. Destiny Coppinger, the girl I said I loathed, was the girl I love. I do love you, Serenity. I really do. Even if we are fated to hate each other, at least I know that deep down you have feelings for me. I guess fate already set a definite path for us. If there was a chance to restart, I would do it with a heartbeat, so I could change everything so we could finally have our perfect life together. I think I should lock this feeling back in the depths of my heart to avoid hurting myself even further.